is the Walton Walmart story, is this an American dream or is it an American nightmare unfolding? Which one is it exactly? What do you think?
I think in many ways it's the American nightmare. You know, people being paid very low wages that they can't support a family on, that they can't support themselves. And you know, Walmart is a leader in creating this type of low-wage job, but it's not just Walmart. Our economy is generating many more of these types of low-wage jobs than of middle-class jobs.
Well, actually, I think it's a triumph for far many more people, the tens and hundreds of millions of people who actually shop at Walmart. And the whole point of Walmart and so much of our economy is how much we drive down the cost of essential goods and services. So the cost of clothes, the cost of food. Walmart delivers these products to consumers more efficiently. And so there's been enormous wealth creation for those people who now can buy the same goods and services that they need to buy every day at a lower price.
And they are shopping Chinese products.
Well, yes,
products manufactured in China.
And what's wrong with that? So, you know, one of the things, we talk about income inequality, but we forget that actually income inequality around the world is narrowing because a billion people have been lifted out of poverty in the last 10 years. And a large part of that is because people in China and India are making products that we buy in this country.
But the things that are actually so basic and necessary to a good life in the United States, healthcare, education, housing, I mean, those things have not gotten any cheaper. They have only gotten more expensive, and the wages of a Walmart worker cannot buy those things, and the wages of many, many workers in the low-wage economy is modeled by Walmart. They can't do that either.
So is the disparity between making a fortune that's worth about $140, $150 billion, and people getting paid $8 an hour, that's not exactly an American dream.
No, but see, but you're not taking into account the billions of dollars in wealth creation that's come from the fact that all those hundreds of millions of consumers can spend less. The cost of things like education and healthcare has gone up and up and up in this country. And so middle-class people can not as easily afford those services and goods as they could before. That's not because wages are low.
If you factor in inflation, salaries are lower today than they were in the 1970s and 1980s.
You can't just look at wages, right? The disparities, or the way you think about mobility and income, it's not just wages. There are taxes and transfers, right? So there's been enormous growth in the transfer economy. People pay taxes who are wealthy, and that money is transferred to lower income people, so there's some redistribution.
The 1% in this country has enjoyed 90% of the economic gains of the recent recovery. So, I mean, in comparison to the wealth generated in this country right now, wages are certainly low.
The 80s onwards.
Yeah.
And that's when the real thing took off.
Yes, that's certainly when it became.
So it's globalization really was the engine behind the success of Walmart?
Yes, at that point, yes. It was quite successful, you know, on a regional and, you know, sort of southern level before that. But yes, it did become the global phenomenon that it is now because of globalization.
The left sees globalization as a sinister force that creates oligarchs. No, what globalization does is it allows people in places like India and China and Vietnam to make goods that people in America can buy.
But these are not mutually exclusive. I mean, it did create oligarchs throughout the world.
It's more important that we lift people out of poverty than whatever, the fact that the Waltons have $150 million is a necessary byproduct because they are the ones who created the mechanism for lifting.
It's a necessary byproduct?
Absolutely. The government agencies can't create a Walmart. You have to have a private corporation that has the initiative to do these things, that has the incentive economically.
I mean, as much as globalization is important to the Walmart story, the hierarchies within the United States have contributed incredibly to the business model as well by making it so easy for Walmart to exploit cheap labor at home. I don't think that Walmart could have been as successful without the phenomenal exploitation of its workers at home in the U.S.
So, and some of them are collecting food stamps, I read?
Of course.
The actual employees who work 9 to 5 jobs collecting food stamps.
Oh, yeah. And
in America.
Walmart gives them the papers to sign up for food stamps.
So this idea that you're only on food stamps if you're some desperate, starving person, that's not true today. We spend 9 90 or 70, I think it's 75 or 73 billion dollars a year on food stamps, and it's quadrupled. Not because poverty is quadrupled in this country, but because the program has quadrupled. So it's important to understand that just the term food stamps, a lot of people
But you surely agree that poverty has a new modern sense. It's not about starving.
Well, but there's a huge amount of transfers and redistribution in the U.S. system that go to alleviate whatever income inequality is there. And part of it, again, is the lower cost of goods. You can buy more things if those things are cheaper. And so if you only focus on wages, and you don't focus on taxes and transfers, and you don't focus on cost of living, you're missing an enormous part of the story. And Walmart has been a great force for good in this economy.